So take a look at this weird problem that I created, right? If you guys look at the multiple choice questions, right, the packet for part A, right, this is basically this is basically on page 2 and page 3, but as you know, right, there's a lot of typos, so I just created my own, right? So here we go. Let's try to see if you guys know this. The question is saying, given the function, right, let's call this h of x equals 16 times 9 to the power of x, right? Select the equivalent form of h of x. So one of these right here in the multiple choice has to be the same as this that was initially given. So what could I do, right? So try to figure out, is there anything that this 16 and this 3 have in common? Well, let's try to look at the multiples. Can I look at the multiples? If I have that is not gonna work. Let's say if you have 16 equals, there we go. Let's say you have 16, right? What numbers multiply times, what are the multiples of 16? Well, you have 4 times 4, right? What else do you have? You have 2 times 8. What else do you have? You have 1 times 16, right? So now, what about the 9? Well, the 9, you have 1 times 9, and then you have 3 times 3. So, is there another way to format this? Is there another way to get the multiples to be the same, right? Because obviously there's no 3's over here with 16, there's no 4's over here with the 9, right? So what else could I do? Well, if you notice here, this one and this one are repeated. So can I just write it as 4 to the power 2? And can this be 3 to the power of 2? Well, technically yes. So now they both have in common a 2, right? So we could try to think of it in this format, right? Or so to speak. So let's look at let's look at the multiple choice A, B, C, and D. On the first part, they only modified the 3. So they said 3 to the power of 2, which we already said it's 9. Gives you that 9, right? And then you have the x, of course. So this one does match. What about the next one? What about 16 times 3 to the power of x divided by 2? Well, in this case, you have basically this. You have 16 times 3 to the power of 1/2 x. No, it's not going to work. In order to get this 9 from this 3, I need to have a degree of 2. This one's obviously out. If you notice, this one right here is also happening down here. So this is a no-no. And then if you notice in part D, the only degree that's shown is also affecting the 3. But hey, they also switched to 4. No, this is basically telling me it's 4 to the power 1. And 4 to the power 1 gives me 4. 4 to the power of 2 gives me that 16 that I need. So because of this is also wrong. This is technically correct, this side, for the 3, right? But not the 4. Alright, because then you end up with this. So this is also wrong. That means the one that's equivalent is, well, A, because 3 to the power 2 is, as we said, 9. And the x is just there for the right, as you can see there.